it's Silva, and today I'm going to be talking about my upcoming backpacking trip, all the details of this trip, and the gear I'll be taking with me. First, some of the details. I'm going to be doing the Monadnock Sunapee Greenway Trail in southwestern New Hampshire, and it should be, according to the maps I've looked at, peak foliage season while I'm doing this trip. I have done this trip one other time going no-bow 3 years ago, but this time I'll be going so-bow and following the foliage calendar. So I'll be ending on the summit of Monadnock, which will be a great ending with fantastic views. The differences between last time and this time, besides going no-bow, there will be some different gear, but also when I did it 3 years ago, it was a struggle. I was having a lot of foot pain, I got a lot of blisters. It was just a struggle each night to get through the miles each day, and I got into camp, I think, every night after dark. And this time, I've been hiking a lot more. I don't have the foot issues I had last time, and I've been trying to work out every day. So the plan this time is to be able to get into camp before dark every night with time to set up and relax a little bit. Trip solo, and I am excited about that as I haven't done a solo trip in a while. Now, I will be still taking 5 days and 4 nights, and the biggest reason for that is because that is the way my ride will work. Matt will drop me off one morning, and then he won't be able to pick me back up until the evening 5 days later. So I have 5 days to do 52 miles of trail. The trail itself, it's actually probably a little bit more than 52 miles because the trail itself is around 50. You have to climb to the summit of Sunapee before the trail starts, and then it ends on the summit of Monadnock, and then you still have to hike down. So the hike up one side and down the other is not part of the trail. It's just from summit to summit. Now, I do have this Monadnock Sunapee Greenway map that I've been checking out. Far Out does have a map for this trail, and it was really helpful last time, so that's what I'll be using this time as well. So I do have a rough plan of where I'd like to spend each night outlined. I'm not going to go over that in detail because I know that it could change. I have a couple different options. I know where most of the camping spots are, which are limited on this trail. There's not a lot. But day one, because it is approximately 3 hours drive from here, and the plan is right now for Matt to hike up Mount Sunapee with me and then be able to see some of the views from there before hiking back to the car and driving home. Day one mileage will depend on, do we really get there as early as we think we will? And, you know, how far after hiking up the summit will I get? So there's a camping option at like 5.2 miles and another camping option at 10 miles. I'd love to make it to, I think 10.1. So I'm hoping to make it to the 10.1 trail. Again, it will depend on the timing of everything. So I will either have a pretty long day one with, I think it's 2 miles up the mountain and then 10.1 to the first campsite, which will make a longer day one, not terrible. Or if I end up with a shorter day one, then my day two will be longer. And I have several options that I can camp at on day two. Let's talk gear. To start, I'll be using my Gossamer Gear Mariposa, which is the pack I've been using for the last few years on my section hikes of the Appalachian Trail and any backpacking trips I have been doing. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of all my gear. I've done videos in the past detailing everything and weights and exactly what everything is. So I'm going to kind of do a quick overview of that with you today. If you want more details, I do have some other videos about that, or you can put questions in the comments below. Let's start with my quilt. I will be taking the Enlightened Equipment Enigma Apex 20-degree quilt. I will be taking my Nemo Philo Elite pillow. I'll be taking my Nemo Tensor insulated sleeping pad. Hopefully I find the leak this weekend. I've tried several times. I have a tiny leak. Let's hope I find it. For my tent, I will be taking the one I bought this past spring when I was on the AT due to some equipment malfunctioning. So I'll be using my Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL2 tent. I also did purchase the footprint when I got home. I have not yet used it, but I will probably take it along. It's pretty light, so I'm going to try it out. I'll be taking my first aid kit. I understand it's bigger than most people's first aid kits, but I do have quite a bit of stuff in here besides first aid, just some other toiletries and things like that. So I'll be taking this with me. I'll also be taking my Flex Tail Gear Tiny Pump to inflate my sleeping pad, as this saves me. I just love this thing. I used it my whole section hike this past year, and I'm definitely planning to keep bringing this along. Now, I do plan to cook each night when I get to camp, so I'll be bringing my cook system, my spoon, pot, my fuel is inside, along with my stove, my MSR Pocket Rocket 2, and a lighter. So, this is my electronics bag, and in here I just have a brick and 2 chargers, a 20,000 milliamp and a 10,000 milliamp. I don't know if I'll need both because there is a stop day too at Washington General Store, and I may be able to recharge. But the 10,000 amp is so light, I may just take both just to have a backup. For water filtration, of course, I'll be carrying 2 smart water bottles, the smaller one and the bigger one. And to be able to filter, I have my 2-liter CNOC bag and my Katadyn Be-Free water filter. Of course, I'll be taking my rain jacket. It does look right now like it should be nice weather, but I'm taking it just in case. And this is my Light Heart Gear rain jacket and rain skirt. It is supposed to get pretty chilly at night next week in New Hampshire, down into the 30s, and then I think the highs are the low 50s during the day. So I am going to be bringing a little bit of warmer clothes, not a ton, but I do plan on bringing a hat and mittens in case I'm cold at night, my booties, my Enlightened equipment, as well as my puffy jacket. For some of the smaller items, of course, I'll be taking my headlamp, my sunglasses by Gooder. I did have to get a new pair. My camp shoes, because I love being able to take my shoes off at camp and just walk around in Crocs. Now for clothes, I will be wearing the same thing every day. On the trip, I haven't yet decided what I'll be wearing yet. I'll probably be long pants and a long sleeve shirt that I can roll the sleeves up, but I'm going to double check the weather before I decide that. And as far as extra clothes, taking maybe 2 pairs of extra underwear, 2 pairs of socks, which is what I usually take on the AT, as well as 1 very thin base layer in case I need to sleep in that at night if it gets really chilly, and a buff. Of course, I'll be taking my Garmin with me so that if anything were to happen, I always have satellite service. And as of yet, I am undecided if I want to carry my food bag or my bear canister that I have up there on the shelf. I am not yet sure which one I want to take. Of course, the bear canister weighs more than this food bag would, but I hate hanging my bear bag. So I'm not sure. But once I decide that, I will definitely let you know. I do still have to purchase my food for the trip. I have a few things here on hand that I'll be using, but I need to round that out with some more food. I won't need a ton as it is 4 nights and 5 days, and I will also be stopping day 2 at the general store. Here's a few of the things I have on hand. I have some packages of ramen, and I'm going to get some instant potatoes or stuffing. I can't decide which to add to that each night. I have 1 backpacker meal. I have a few others, but none of them sounded good, but I will take this backpacker meal, so that'll be my 4 nights. Once I add something to that, I have some instant coffee for breakfast and 1 electrolyte packet left. So I'm going to get some more electrolytes, snacks, lunch, breakfast type stuff. So there you have it. I will be vlogging this trip and will publish that when I get back home. So I have yet to decide if it'll be 1 longer video or cut it into 2, part 1 and part 2. So please subscribe so you'll get notified when those videos come out. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you're out there enjoying some of the fall colors and getting some hiking in. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.